More than a few years ago, I was working as a burlesque entertainer in a gentleman's club and was idly sitting at the end of the bar one night when a couple came in. Not unusual. I had thought nothing of them being there until later. A few days after that night, the doorman handed me a piece of paper that had 2 names and phone numbers written on it, Laura and Richard. I was supposed to call them, so I called Laura, who told me that they had been the couple who had been at the bar the other night, and they noticed me. Thought I'd be perfect for a part in a movie Richard was producing. Would I be up for a meeting? Of course I would. Who wouldn't? And I was told Richard would pick me up the next night at 7 and to wear something wild. 7 o'clock came the next evening, and I was ready in a white lace dress with ostrich feather trim when Richard showed up outside my building. So I went down, introduced myself, and got in the car. We agreed to go to the local bar I knew well for the meeting. But first we had to go back to his place so he could pick up some contracts he'd forgotten. So off we went. He went into his house and came back out with a few manila folders and an open bottle of beer, a brand that I didn't like to drink. So I stuck the beer into the window well of the Jeep and we went to the bar. At the bar he showed me what were supposedly scripts from this movie he was producing and some contracts, and it looked pretty legit. Richard was very nice and I was interested. I made some plans to go out later with my soon-to-be boyfriend, so I excused myself to go call on the bar's payphone and took my Corona that I had ordered at the bar with me to the bank of phones. As a dancer, I'd been taught by other girls to never let your drink out of your sight. My boyfriend wanted to get going to another club, so I went back to the table where Richard was and told him I had to go. He didn't like that. He tried a few different things to get me to go to the movie set with him, saying I could meet Mickey Rourke and check out the set. But all I really wanted to do was meet my boyfriend, so I declined, took Richard's card, and left. I never heard from Richard again. But a couple months later, the police came around the bar I was working at. They had 2 big books of mugshots and a stack of Polaroids with them, and they wanted to talk to us about a predator couple who had been setting up meetings with dancers by saying they were in the film industry, then drugged and raped them. They showed me the 2 mugshot books and asked if I recognized anyone in the pictures, and I immediately identified Richard and Laura. Then they showed me the Polaroids, which were trophy pictures of the couple in the act of attacking the poor drugged girls, and asked if I knew any of the victims and where they might find them in order to talk to the girls. I only knew a couple of the women in the photographs, but there were a lot that this had happened to. Richard and Laura were prosecuted. He went to jail, but she didn't, because she was from a wealthy family and also turned witness on him. About 12 years after Richard was convicted, I saw in the newspaper that he was possibly up for parole. So I wrote a letter telling the story and urging them not to let him back out because he was a dangerous offender who should have stayed in prison the entirety of his sentence. If I had drank the open beer he handed to me in the Jeep on the way to the meeting, I wouldn't have made it to the meeting and probably would have ended up in that stack of Polaroids. Girls and guys, always keep your eyes on your drinks. Have fun and be careful out there.
I think my girlfriend is a witch.
I was always a little suspicious about my girlfriend, Samantha. Reading creepy old books she ordered from sketchy websites, wanting to learn weird languages, and would whisper to herself at times. I didn't think much of it because she was a really, really nice person at first. Or so I thought. Or at least I wanted to believe that. And it didn't hurt that she was smoking hot. I'm talking fucking supermodel hot, dude. She's the type of girl that will draw eyes from every guy in the room. And how did a dude like myself get a girl like her? Honestly, I have no clue. She always tells me how special I am and mean a lot to her. I want to believe her, but I just don't see what she means. For the first 2 weeks we dated, I thought she was your average 23-year-old girl, for the most part. She was going to college to be a phlebotomist, had friends she regularly hung out with, was close with her family, Normal, right? That's what I thought too. That wasn't until about a month ago. She stopped letting me stay the night at her apartment. I once tried to insist that I stay, and she got furious. I figured she was going through something and needed some space. A couple of weeks went by, and she was still very clear that I was not allowed to stay the night. I started getting suspicious. Is she cheating on me? That was my first thought. So while she was taking a shower, I decided to look around. Maybe I'll see a shirt or something that belongs to some dude. Check the living room. Nothing. Okay, wait, the kitchen? Wait. Do I need to check the kitchen? Fuck it, whatever, I'll do a quick look through. Okay, first pantry. About a dozen pill bottles filled with different shit. Some, what looks like a hair in a couple of bottles. Is that teeth in that one? I quickly shut the doors. Okay, that's weird. But it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I was heading to check her room when I heard the water shut off on the shower. Fuck, already? She's got in there. Okay, I'll have to check another time. She got out and we sat on the couch watching some show on Hulu. Debating on what we were going to eat for dinner, we decided on Taco Bell. We both didn't feel like driving, so we used Uber Eats. After placing our order, we continued watching the TV. Then she asked if she could take some of my blood so we could practice phlebotomy. I was hesitant at first, considering what I had seen in her cabinet, but agreed to it because I wanted what was best for her. She got everything prepped to draw my blood and started away. Blood started draining quickly. Before I knew it, she was done. I didn't pay attention to what she did with the blood she took. I just assumed she dumped it in the sink or something. I did this for her a couple of more times over the next 2 weeks, but grew kinda skeptical. The last time she asked, I didn't feel well. Probably from taking my blood, honestly. I don't even know how much she took. But she became very irritated and anxious when I told her no. I finally gave in, but made sure she was only going to take a little bit. Even if it is a little, it's still practice, right? But something just didn't set right with me. I've had this feeling ever since I've seen what's inside her cabinet. I just knew something was up, and she was up to something. A little while after taking my blood, she was in a rush to leave her apartment. She said something came up and she had to go. Leading me out the door, I tried to get her to slow down and talk about what was going on. But really, I was trying to distract her from locking her door. It didn't work, but I wasn't going to give up. We parted ways and I looked up on YouTube how to pick locks and whatnot. Shit's too complicated. Then I remembered she lived on the first floor. So I snuck around to check the windows. Her bedroom window was unlocked. Hell yeah, I'm in. About to see what you've been up to, Samantha. I started searching under the bed. Nothing. Checked her drawers and there it is! A guy's shirt. I knew it! Wait. This is my shirt. I don't remember leaving this here. I continued searching and looked in the drawer in her nightstand. And she had tons of notes. All written in some weird language. Except for one. It was in English, but it was short. The writing is faded badly, but it talked about fucking possession and the use of blood and bones. What the fuck? She'd been using my blood for fucking witchcraft shit? I quickly went to her freezer and it was stocked full of blood. And there sat unfrozen blood. My blood. I completely zoned out trying to comprehend what was going on. Before I knew it, the front door flew open. It was Samantha. Fucking pissed off. She came darting towards me. Before I could say anything, she hit me in the head with a blunt object, knocking me out cold. If any of y'all are in similar situations where you think your girlfriend or boyfriend might be up to something shady, get out. Leave. It's not worth it. Trust me. I wish I would have left as soon as I seen what was in the cabinet. Don't make the same mistake I did.